what are we listening to today?
The Immigrant Project by Girish and Astha.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Immigrant Project by Girish and Astha. We have Dave Fort joining us once again. Dave was here on our episode three or four, Dave, I think third episode, third episode. Yeah. And we had a very overwhelming response when you had joined, Dave. So we thought that we'll invite you once again
Oh, thank you.
and talk about a different experience that you have had. I
Mhm.
know you are a musician, and a lot of people who are listening know that you are a musician. And so yeah, I just wanted to you to talk more about Twintwa, which is your group, and where did the idea come from?
Yeah, Twintwa is what it's called now. TWIN, TWA was it started off as Twin
Hmm.
many years ago in Winnipeg, and it was I was playing in some other bands, and I needed something for my own songwriting, and Twin just popped into my head. I thought that was a really cool name. So for over a decade, it was Twin,
Hmm.
and it eventually just became Twintwa because Twin was too hard to find online and stuff like that. Just typing Twin.
Yeah.
And Twin was a project of my own songwriting that eventually evolved into doing touring by canoe. So we'd like the group, whoever was in it at the time, would tour. We'd paddle to our locations to play along river systems, and
Wow.
we started that in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and took it all through the United States, all across Canada, up till now. Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, it's you said that you kept the name Twin for a decade, and now how long has it been since you have moved on from Twin to Twintwa? So I'm
Maybe
assuming
like
that it's a couple of decades old
no,
group,
no. I probably maybe the Twin Twa has been a couple years now.
couple of years, so maybe 12,
Yeah,
13 years now.
yeah, something like that.
So yeah, who were initially part of your group, Dave, and do you still play music with them?
No, not really. That would have been a while ago. That would have been musicians in Winnipeg. There'd be so many. Like Twin was a really. I was living in an old mansion with like 10 other people, and it was a very artistic community. It was a wonderful time to be in Winnipeg,
Wow.
and so there was just a lot of sharing. It wasn't even like you're fully a band member. There was just a lot of collaborating, really like true and honest artistic collaborating going on in the early days of Twin in Winnipeg. But then the project, one of Anchai from Forester Dress moved, joined the project 11 years ago.
Wow.
Then we really ran with the started on the Mississippi River, and then we just kind of kept going through the states and doing other kinds of performing or art too, but a lot of the canoe tours and other things too.
Wow.
And
So
that yeah,
yeah, sorry, Dave.
well, that's eventually brought us to Ontario here.
Wow. So you said that you toured states a lot. So how did you manage to did you used to go to the clubs and request them that if you could play, or did you have like a publisher who would set up gigs for you? How did that work? And how did you travel across the states? I know you used to take the canoe internally in Winnipeg, but how did you travel the states with?
Well, initially with like when we went to Los Angeles at the start, just by like buses and trains and stuff, and then canoe when
Hmm.
we could. And then eventually, after the second Mississippi River canoe tour, we made enough money to buy a car, like a
Wow.
$900 car in Wisconsin or something. And then that really opened up our world. Like we continued canoe touring, but also we were
Yeah.
driving. So, and as far as booking, we did do our own booking. And you just emails and like networking works really fast in the United States because the populations are close to each other. So just any way we could, but no, we never really had it. Like sometimes someone would advocate for us or maybe book a couple shows for us,
Wow.
but for the most part, we did all the booking ourselves. Yeah.
Wow. So I'm assuming the audience who would be listening to you in Winnipeg or Canada versus the audience in the States would be vastly different culturally. So did you feel the same way, or
Did I feel
was
the
it
same?
way, I mean, the audience listening to your music, was it very different?
Um, well, like in Winnipeg, like there was definitely like some core people who knew us well, so it was like kind of like community based stuff. But then I felt like what we were doing caught on a little quicker in the States and that kind of thing.
Hmm.
With the canoe tour and stuff. So,
Okay.
and networking works a lot faster there, or did at the time anyway.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so we kind of held on, and there was just more people to play to down south and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's more opportunities down south. Yes, more cities, more places to play, more bars
Yeah, more towns, and we played all sorts of things. We played parks, not just bars, like
everywhere.
lots
Oh,
lots of house venues, festivals, anything and everything.
wow.
Schools,
So I'm assuming,
churches.
Dave, you have a lot of crazy stories to share. Do you want to share something with the listeners today? Any crazy stories?
Sure. What's one? Well, I always remember this one just popped in my head. There's so many, but like on the first Mississippi River canoe tour, which was a long one, it was like 46 days. We kind of went from the headwaters deep into Wisconsin,
Hmm.
and it was in the fall, so it was really cold. So it was like
Hmm.
short days. And I remember when we pulled into Minneapolis, and this is before we had knew a lot of people and stuff. So we pulled in, and there was like an abandoned industrial area, and we had one contact in Minneapolis who was going to come get us to the gig, but
Yeah.
canoe and all this gear. So we pulled up to the shore where this old industrial whatever site was coming into Minneapolis, and we hid it all our stuff, including the canoe, kind of through this broken window and
Yeah.
in this old factory. And then the guy came. We had our gear. Went to the show. We stayed at his place that night. Then the next day we went back to the factory, pulled our stuff out, and went back down the river. Um, so that that was for the first time, like because the Mississippi, like doing I'd been doing the Assiniboine River and I had done the Los Angeles River. I guess that's another one that people might find interesting. Many
Hmm.
years ago, we did the Los Angeles River. We were arrested on site, taken to court by the city for
Yeah. Oh,
canoeing
wow.
in the city and that kind of thing. So that was a big one. Um,
Oh my God.
yeah. So everything very adventurous in that regard for sure.
Yeah,
That's just
you
off the top of my head.
Dave, you said that you have a lot of experience playing in towns, but what about playing in large cities? Especially, I think you and
Mhm.
I had a conversation where you said that you stayed in New York City briefly. So, how was it like playing in New York City? Was it like
Well, I used
vastly
to
different?
my band before Absence Hour.
Bless
Pardon me.
you.
We lived in Manhattan for a while
Hmm.
and did gigs around there, and then Twin played there a few times. And that was fine. It's good. Like you really just you got to get out there. Like if you're in the big cities, like you got to put yourself out there, and you'd be surprised. I mean, you'd be surprised how fast things can happen. Like because there's spaces looking to be filled and stuff like that. So, but yeah, you get into a town like New York, you hustle it, you go for it, try to
Hmm.
play and yeah, there's lots of great artists there and stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow. I'm assuming since you stayed in Manhattan, I don't think the rents would be cheap, so it would have cost you a fortune to uh, play and
Uh,
then pay for a space as well, right?
yeah. Well, we were paying three of us living in a really small apartment. It wasn't expensive. Like we were playing gigs that we got paid and stuff like that. We didn't
Hmm.
get paid a lot, but like we were playing. We weren't paying to play, or like we were getting legitimate gigs and that. Yeah.
Hmm. So, how long were you in New York, Dave?
The one time when we lived there, I'd say like 4 months.
4 months. Oh, at a
Yeah.
stretch. So
Yeah.
you and the group.
Yeah.
Hmm. And do you have experience playing or touring outside the States and Canada? Or is it just
No, no, just it's all been Canada and the US.
but
Um,
you do have been to Mexico and have never
mhm.
played there.
Not the formally or like as a promoted. I mean, I played music down there, traveling and stuff like that. But that was more like backpacking and taking buses and that
Hmm.
kind of thing, like with a girlfriend at the time, that kind of thing. To Guatemala, Honduras,
Of course.
just so backpacking, camping, which Mexico is amazing for.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm going there,
yeah.
Dave, next week.
Oh yeah, I right. Yeah, where are you
Excited for
going?
that.
Yeah.
Cancun.
Okay. Have a good time. I've been there.
Ah,
It's a great place.
I know they just for a
Yeah,
week, but yeah, I want to have fun there. Oh yeah,
absolutely.
you said canoe. Canoe, you used to travel a lot in canoes and play. But
Mhm.
then I remember we having a conversation yesterday where you said that you took a canoe course. So
Oh,
yeah, tell us something about it. What have you taken? What is it? Tell the
oh,
audience
I'm
something about it.
about to take. I mean, I was, trained years ago in Saskatchewan, but like I'm about to take my official Ontario, it's called Orca, and it's basically a canoe course where like I'm certifying to be a canoe instructor myself.
So it's a 1 week long course where at the
Yeah,
end of the course you get a certification and you can use
yeah,
that certification to apply for canoe jobs across the
yeah,
state.
yeah. Or I'm just like legally allowed. It's recognized that I've been trained to from a
Hmm.
reputable organization that I can conduct canoe
Are there a
work.
lot of a lot of a lot of demand for canoe learning, Dave, in the state, especially in Ontario?
Um, I think in Ontario, yeah, I just had a job interview for one today.
What? Wow,
Yeah,
congratulations.
yeah.
How was it?
I don't think I'll go. It's pretty intensive, like where you have to stay on site all summer. Um,
Hmm.
I think I'd rather do something that was a little more daily based. Um,
Hmm.
or maybe like eventually try to do my own thing.
But I'm assuming if it's a canoe course, I don't think you will be working in Toronto, or would you?
No, that's what I mean.
Mm.
It's not going to work out because it's not enough money and for this
Oh, it's not
particular
enough
job.
money.
Yeah, for the
Hmm.
for me to like uproot myself and all that.
But do you think if you take this course and if you get certified, there are possibilities of you getting a job out there which pays you better than probably what you would be earning right now without a canoe job?
I think it's possible, and I think it's something you can turn into your own, training.
So, Dave, the way I see it is Dave is passionate about canoe. Dave is taking a certification in canoe and Dave is going to teach canoe. So, canoe courses. So, in a sense, it feels like you're following your own passion.
Yeah, yeah, trying to. Yeah.
So yeah, Dave, why did you do that with music? I mean, you play excellent instruments, uh, such well. Why didn't you teach it?
Oh, I suppose I just haven't been stationary
Hmm.
long enough in the right place. But yeah, if someone wanted me to do that, I'm sure I could.
So you're open for it.
Yeah.
Hmm. So if anyone listening to this podcast, if you wanna listen to what kind of instruments can you teach, Dave?
I could well the guitar like for sure I could teach beginner mandolin banjo bass no problem um
Wow.
so those instruments yeah and then I could teach I guess advanced guitar
Wow.
and the other instruments I'd say beginner yeah I could teach advanced bass yeah.
Wow. So many instruments. If you're in Toronto and if you
Mhm.
want to learn something, you can always hit Dave up. He can
Yeah
be found at Twin. Can you
well,
name Instagram?
yeah yeah if you go yeah Twintwa or Instagram is twin_twa I believe.
Twin underscore Twa.
If you yeah,
Hmm.
if you go to www.twintwa.com, that's the website. And I don't that'll
Yeah, that's how you can. Oh, yeah, you do have a lot of news articles that have covered your uh US tour gigs, right, Dave?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you're a minor celebrity in the house.
What's that?
Please, you're a minor celebrity in the
A
house.
minor celebrity, yeah. Yeah,
The Canadian celebrity who lives with us.
yeah, totally.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah,
Well, Dave, we have the la last 5 minutes. I want to spend this last five,
sure.
7 minutes talking about Twintwa. You said that Twintwa started a couple of years back, and
Well,
it's
wait,
yeah, it's
the name transition.
name transitioned a couple of years back. Otherwise, the brand is around 10, 12 years old.
Yeah, it's
So,
something like that.
so I see that you're working on Twintwa brand because I keep seeing you going and recording every other week. So it feels like you're trying to grow the brand. Is there is there a vision that you have for Twintwa or for Dave in the distant
Um,
future? Because I know that you're doing something in downtown Toronto during summer as well. So you can talk about that as well.
yeah, well, we're gonna be doing the Humber River Art and Music Festival August 24th at Sunnyside Park from about 2 till 9. People want to come to that. We're just getting the lineup together. As far as Twin Twa goes, there's a recorded album that needs to be released. I've been kind of taking things slower because I've just been going at it so hard for
Hmm.
so long, and I'm kind of just like instead of like always like on the computer and always trying to make things happen, I'm just kind of
Yeah.
stepping back a bit and trying to enjoy it again. Um,
Hmm.
because it was just so relentless, and so I'm just kind of stepping back and like, whoa, what's going on here? Um, and just a bit much.
Wow.
Um,
So yeah, Dave, why don't you use this? platform to promote your album that you're talking about? Do you want to say a couple of lines about your album? What is it about? How
Well,
many
it's
songs?
yeah, it'll be 10 songs. It's called Kaleidoscope Brown. And should release it soon.
So
Um,
what kind of music? What kind of songs? What is the theme like?
like sometimes I call it hypno alt folk or hypno indie folk,
Hmm.
hypno folk, or deep. Sometimes I call it deep earth folk. There's lots of it online. If you go twintwa.com,
Oh,
you'll
so
find it.
we can find it everywhere.
Oh yeah, if you type Twintwa, you'll find us. Well, it'll pop up and just follow the trail.
Okay, and then
Yep.
you're planning to upload it on, make it live on YouTube? How do you plan to release
Oh
the
yeah,
album?
it'll be up on all the platforms, Spotify,
Oh wow.
and like our past albums are on Spotify and all that too.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
if you
And
type,
I'm assuming, Dave, that you have your existing songs already on Spotify.
yeah,
Oh, that is so cool. So
yeah.
you did this with collaboration with, or you did this alone?
Oh well, for the past 10 years, I did most of it with Avantchai.
Hmm.
Um,
But this
and
album, this particular album.
yeah,
Hmm.
but the new stuff I'm working on is a little more independent. Um, yeah.
A little more independent, not your friend Bo. So it's just you.
Well, they're producing it.
They're producing it.
Vocast is producing it, so yeah, they're definitely a part of it. Yeah.
Hmm.
But it's a little more just my songwriting, I guess.
Hmm. So
Yeah.
for the next 6 months, Dave, I would say that you would really want to focus and make this album, which has 10 songs live, and then you'll probably think of what next for Twintwa.
Yeah. We'll just see how things go.
Hmm.
Get Kaleidoscope Brown out, and then there's about 4 or 5 songs for another album that's just kind of percolating
Oh wow.
and happening. So like put out the album that's done, and then the other ones can come after that.
Get the creative juices flowing, Dave.
Yeah,
I do have one last question, Dave, before we
yeah,
wind
for
this
sure.
up. I wanted to ask you, so you said that you are planning to invest a lot of time in Canoe going forward. So how
Yeah.
will that time investment in Canoe balance with your Twintwa? So how are you planning to balance that?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I've have co for years. They've just coexisted.
Hmm.
Um, that's all. That's what exactly was happening. It was like merging my two things together, my two passions or whatever.
Hmm.
So, it, and it's one of those things that maybe I'm learning that sometimes stepping away from the music
Hmm.
empowers it too.
Wow.
Um,
Hmm.
kind of thing. Um, so to not, I'm just learning not to be so relentless with it. So like, I mean, and if something else is fueling me spiritually and creatively, like that can only help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, Dave, I think I learned today that you should definitely follow your passion because your two passions, canoe and music, is something that you're following, and
Yeah.
you're motivating all of us to follow our passion.
Oh, well, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I really hope, Dave,
Well,
that you,
you're welcome.
of course, I hope, Dave, that you receive phenomenal success for your
Well, thank
upcoming
you.
albums and any other songs that you produce, and I hope that you get the best job for canoe that you want.
Wow, thank you, Grish. I appreciate that.
Of course, Dave, we are all your well-wishers, and I hope that people listening to this podcast, whoever wants to learn music instruments, will reach out to you. Whoever wants to listen
Yeah,
to
you
your
can reach
songs,
out to me. The
they will
email's
reach.
on the website.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
Twintwa.
if you fire a message to me on Instagram or Facebook, whatever, I'll answer.
Yeah, Dave Food is not. It's easy to find him on Instagram and everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, this has been fantastic, Dave.
Yeah,
Thank you so
thank you.
much, and I wish you
Anytime.
all the luck and all the success for your upcoming canoe course.
Right on. Thank you, Grish.
Thank you so much, Dave.
No problem. Bye bye.
Bye.